Okay, I am not a librarian, I'm a library marketer. And I do the thing that everybody in your library that does marketing PR does. We do in our department, the regular PR, send out the newsletter, you know, all that type of thing. But we have a product in our library that we're not doing the best job selling. We have a person that can do teen services, someone that does virtual services, an early learning literacy specialist. We've got somebody that can help entrepreneurs and businesses. We've got technology trainers, and we've got someone that can help seniors. How do I sell this product? Why not get out into the community and let the community know that this product exists? So, board of directors at my mid-sized suburban library, I come to you asking if you would support a new position called a community connector. This individual will go out into the community and make connections with all the little niches that are out there. And not only will they be finding places where there are needs, they'll be bringing all of these products, these experts, into, say for instance, a doctor's office. Maybe our early learning specialist, literacy specialist, will be able to meet with all the new moms that are coming in and give them an idea about what we have to offer at the library, maybe give an introduction, maybe even bring a little activity with this meeting. Or maybe I'll find a mommy blog somewhere where even online I can get my early literacy specialist out there connected to the community. Maybe I can go to the senior center or find out where there's a weekly bridge club of 10 or 15 seniors and talk to them and speak to them and get my senior specialist to come in and perhaps have them turn into a book club. There's a whole lot of ways that we can reach out in the community that we're not doing right now because we don't have the resources. So we're asking for an individual whose role that will be. The person doesn't necessarily have to be a librarian, and it should be somebody that is good working with people, has a little bit of marketing background perhaps. And I look at it as similarly to how so many libraries have developed a new position of a digital services type librarian. There's a big need. There's somebody that needs to be a new person that would focus just on this particular aspect of providing services. And we feel that this is just as important of a service to go out into the community and find out what the needs are. You want to spend $20,000 on a consultant to do focus groups for you and surveys? Well, we can get you the same kind of data through our staff going out in the community and finding out what our needs are in the community. So consider sending that resource into bringing that person on board and helping to grow all of the people that need us in the library.
All right, well timed. Okay.
So board, what do you think?
Questions? Questions about feasibility, evaluation? You've sold them.
Or else they're just in a coma because of too much sugar.
I heard too much cookies. That's what I heard. How could there be such a thing? All right, looks like we have a couple questions over here.
I think this is the same question I basically asked before, but how are you going to measure the success of this position?
The success of the position comes through what we were talking about, maybe more soft data, for instance, where just as a survey might come across, we're going to be able to add all of these visits. Now say we have a reference librarian that is going to attend Chamber of Commerce meetings. And the group at the Chamber of Commerce is determining how to come up with some statistics about small businesses, or just they need information. The reference librarian raises their hand and says, well, we can be happy to do that for you at our library. And they will go ahead, get the information, and the chamber will be like, the library is fantastic. And so then we can come away and say, well, you know, we sent this person out into the field, and they met with 15 major influencers in the community, and they helped them all out, and why not add that as a statistic, just like a program that we would in the library? Any other thoughts from you guys?
Well, you'd also see increase if people came in, you would have your statistics for your reference desk, for your digital questions, new library cards.
And we want to emphasize that this is a little bit different from more traditional outreach, and that our goal is not just to take librarians out into the community and say, this is what we can do for you. It's to go out into the library and listen, and come back to the library and say, these are the needs that the community members have identified. And try and create a more empowered community because they will be able to, community members will be able to take their own initiatives and say, oh, this is something we need, and you know, we would actually like your help in making it a reality.
Everybody at every library has a non-user issue. They've got a non-user problem. And this is one way to help solve that problem. And to go in and find those non-users, help them, service them in their own turf, and then hopefully convert them to be users.
Melissa?
Have you thought about having this as multiple part-time jobs rather than one full-time job? That might give you more flexibility in terms of language skills and or age groups. And just the fact that, you know, there is one Wednesday night in the week, but there are 3 different organizations that have their meetings on that night.
And what the coordinator's job is to take to find out the opportunities and plug these individuals into the opportunities. But, you know, to your point, if you had more than one coordinator, if you have different, you know, demographics within your community, this would be, you know, obviously appropriate. Somebody that speaks different language, or you could have a more younger focused, you know, someone that deals more with young kids or something along those lines.
Can I just ask as a follow-up? Because I might have missed this part of your, I obviously missed this part of your presentation. That in other words, the coordinator is not really the conduit to the community. The librarian is the person going out to the community. Like you said, the reference librarian would be at the chamber meeting. The coordinator somehow connects the reference librarian to the chamber? Is that what you mean?
That is what we mean. We mean that the coordinator would then be aware that perhaps the chamber is planning some kind of an upcoming program, or they have an initiative they're trying to accomplish and they could use some research. You know, then I go to the research team, or the coordinator does, and says, you know, can you go to their next meeting and be there and be available and find out what their needs are? And again, to listen to see what their needs really truly are, so that we can say, well, we you know, I'm hearing is that you need A, B, C, and D, and here's what we can provide for you.
And my question is, why do we need to hire a full-time coordinator when all of these individuals on their own merits could be reaching out to the community themselves and scheduling these events and the time and the staff to do these events?
They could be, but they're usually not, because they are not trained in that capacity, because they're trained to be service people. The coordinator's job, I think, would also be to help each of them become, you know, this is driving me crazy. I know this is driving you guys crazy. Anybody else want to say something?
Yeah, when you spread that responsibility out, it can sit on the back burner for everybody and never become the priority that it needs to be. This is something that would require like some focus and some like sort of constancy. We were talking about possibly, you know, asking for funding for 5 years up front, because we won't be able to, because the results will be slow to trickle in. You know, like with an early literacy initiative, for example, you know, you're not going to see a change in test scores right away, right? But we want to be able to find out what people want and be flexible and respond to that. And that takes somebody paying attention, you know, to that particular need for a longer period of time.
So the coordinator's role would then just be to find the community organizations and meetups that are going on and plug these people into those organizations. And once that's done, are they still needed, the coordinator?
It's an ongoing process, because the groups will be continuing to pop up. There'll be plenty of opportunities. Say the local mall is going to have some sort of a fashion show for teens. You know, might this be a great opportunity for your young adult librarian to go out there and be on the committee to help them do that. You know, it's the ability to also help promote all these things and help to continue to give skills to the people that are working at the library that may not be, you know, in a lot of libraries, I think there's people that have been in a library situation for a long time, and they may not be as comfortable working out in the community. They like being behind a desk. That's not something that they have a high comfort level, and so this individual can help with training in that area too. There's a lot of ways that the position could go. It's really an outreach marketing person is the bottom line.
Great, thank you. Nice job.